So yeah, I've also had ones where like they've been like super sick or like super anxious or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know if they can die from that, but they haven't and stuff. Obviously, the sick they do. Like it's been interesting to see what does and doesn't kill them, but I think I've had like 4 non-zombie deaths. Like I accidentally walked over a campfire thinking that it was going to be solid. I had the high thirst girl, I had the mushrooms, I fell off the veranda. I think there might be one more in there, like maybe being sick might have been possibly another one. Um, but yeah, it's been interesting because like if she gets, because I've got bite and scratch can make you sick, right? Can get you infected, whatever like the base of builder is, and so like she can only like fight off zombies. She'll get the smallest scratch and then she'll die, which does kind of suck. But at the same time, like it just kind of tells me get better at fighting kind of thing. So I'm not too worried about it. All right, she should be rightly stuffed now. And I don't think she can carry too much else. But we'll slowly walk her back over. I'll put her back in the house so that she can have a sit down and a bit of a break. And that way we'll have brought a lot of the wood from this end over. If there's any more like small twigs that I can see, I'll pick them up and bring them too. But I don't know if that's a bush or a tree or whatever. I might get rid of that one. Maybe, because I think I'd hit it eventually. And I think everything else is mostly pulled out. Except for that, I think that's a tree. So I've got like a tree and, yeah, 2 trees probably to go. And this is kind of clear enough to drive on. So that'd be good. Holy shit, it's Friday. I thought it was like Wednesday. Yeah, I've got that kind of issue as well, honestly. Because like I had 2 days off this week from streaming on Wednesday and Thursday. I don't usually stream at the moment on Wednesdays because I'm supposed to be doing rigging my avatar. But I've found that like 1 day off is not enough for me to actually have a rest, rig, and then rest before having the next stream. So instead, I took 2 days off, and I found that was a lot better. That was really productive. But I last streamed RimWorld, and so my brain thinks it's like Thursday, but also because it's been like another 2 days or whatever, like my brain's also registering it as like possibly the start of the week. So I'm like plumb confused. But next week's even like a little bit worse because like next week there's an internet outage in my area from midnight like Wednesday morning. So like Tuesday night hits midnight, and then I have like no internet for like a couple of hours and stuff. But the thing is, like, I stream over midnight, so it would like cut out my stream like right in the fucking middle of it, and then it's not going to be back for like, you know, X number of hours or whatever. So I'm like, next Tuesday I probably just won't stream because there's no guarantee that I can like save my game and quit and shit before like stream just drops and shit. But yeah, I was planning to have like 4 days next week, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and there was no internet on fucking Wednesday morning, Tuesday night kind of thing. I'm like, well, fine, I won't stream Tuesday. I'll just add like another like rigging event and stuff. So maybe it's new in. I did an event last year. One of the rewards is to make a live 2D avatar, and I'm drawing and like rigging her myself, and I have no experience doing this shit, right? So like I'm following tutorials and all that crap and whatever. But yeah, it's taken me a while because like I'm obviously like no experience following tutorials, and like shit's just like fucking up. Like auto meshes and stuff like that won't auto mesh properly, so I'm having to do everything manually. And on top of that, it's using like 31.6 gig of RAM out of 32 gigs of RAM on my computer. So if I open even like a browser, my PC crashes and I lose like work and shit. So yeah, it's becoming difficult at this point. So I do want to like keep working on her. I've got like a lot of days planned off this year to work on her and get her finished and stuff. So yeah, there's going to be like miscellaneous disruptions to regular streaming and stuff, but I will be like announcing obviously like any days off and shit as much as I can during streams, as well as also just, on my socials and crap as well. So you guys sort of know when I won't be streaming and stuff. But if you've ever got to check, I've got my Twitch schedule page is pretty up to date. I try to keep that up to date. Obviously, like I don't have a schedule page like anywhere else, so it's not like just casually on YouTube. But if you need to find out if I'm streaming or not, Twitch does have that. Yeah, what else? Short-sighted. It's for me for real. Same. Let's post. No, I saw that. Inventory management is made up. You sell more. Was it? Just sell more crates. Just drop everything on the floor. I mean, I also did drop everything on the floor for a while, but like I came back to my base and an update had happened for the generators, and over half of my stuff was gone, including the generators that I had. So yeah, I stopped doing that. So, because like I found like 3 boxes of nails, and I just opened and dropped them on the ground. So I had like 300 nails on the ground, just being shiny little circles and stuff. And they went. My generators went, and like a whole bunch of my other miscellaneous stuff went. And I'm like, that was one of those times where I almost was like, I don't want to continue the save, because I'm like, I don't know what I do and don't have, what I am missing, and I've collected so much stuff, and I don't know if it's just going to replenish the loot in town, but I assumed it wouldn't, and it didn't. So I lost like, most of a town's looting in that update, and it drove me nuts. But yeah, since then I've been very pedantic about like, get the crates. I'm also the type of person that's just like, I would rather come home and put the shit in a crate to begin with, instead of just putting it on the ground. Like, there's obviously like times where like I'm trying to get shit inside, like for instance, especially like winter when it's cold outside, like bring it inside, dump it on the ground, then put it away, kind of thing, as best I can. Let's get your ass seated down. Get your book first if I can. What do we got? We have butchering. I don't need that yet. Carving, foraging, glassmaking. I don't want to do any of that shit yet. I can't do the second mechanics book yet. She hasn't done the other one. I did want to move that book. I did that one. Nope, that's just piggybacking the next. It's just the next problem. I could read the second cooking one. Not like I really need that, but it would give her something to do for a couple of minutes. I think I wanted to put it in that. Yeah, that's where I want to put that. All right, we'll grab the second cooking book and we'll start working on this while she sits down and has a bit of a break so she can calm the fuck down. Normally I fast forward through that, but I'm kind of just like enjoying the pace tonight. So I don't really mind if she takes like a hot minute to like have a read and shit. I'm at a big old gas bag anyway, so it's fine. What else? But yeah, I like to come in and like put my shit away and know where I can generally find it. Like I said, at the moment, I have got a lot of things where I roughly want them to be. I have 2 crates in here that are still not quite what I want, where I want, that I need to still sort out, which I'll get to. I looted like a shit ton of clothing. So I have like 2 crates in here that are full of clothing, and I want to get her tailoring skill up so that I can get thread out of it. Because I heard that I think if she's got a tailoring skill of 1, she can use tweezers to get thread out of clothing, out of ripped rags or whatever. So I've got like, fuck knows how many rags in this place, but I intend to like pull the thread out of it. And the only reason why I kind of want to do that with the thread is because like I've had instances where like I have clothing and I want to try to fix it, patch it, whatever. I haven't bothered before because obviously my objective is try to keep her alive for like about a month, right? But yeah, I've kind of had like some gear where I'm like, I'd love to be able to repair this, but I need like X number of skill or whatever. And now she's got a lot of stuff. She's got a lot of good stuff for winter. Like, she hasn't been bitten too much. I also don't have a lot of like absolute rag clothing as well, which is kind of nice. Most of the stuff is still in really good condition. I haven't really encountered zombies too much physically. So, yeah, it's kind of good. But I want to kind of get that just experience. Plus, I have this spinning thing as well, which I think I can put wool or some shit in there. Fuck knows. Um, I'll figure that shit out maybe later. I decided, I'm like, because I can take it, I'm like, I'll bring this shit home and then I'll figure out how to use it later. At the moment, it's just being in the way. But it's fine. I'm also like looking at like something is glitching out like hardcore with my truck here. And I don't know what it is. I'm like, is there something on the ground there? And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything in the car either. But yeah. Anywho, she's probably okay to go back out and maybe cut down the last couple of things. I'll see if we can just quickly do that. And then it'd be about time for her to have a sleep, I reckon. I think I had the cooking books were in the other one, but this is fine. Alright. I know it's raining and shit, but we'll go cut down those like last two little trees and I'll see if I can walk back a little bit more stuff. She's not too exhausted. Having the unfit is probably not helping, honestly. But it's fine. What else? Like a mindset on it, honestly. Like do more permanent based stuff too. I haven't thought about doing different survivor builds entirely with respawns, so maybe I'll try that sometime. I actually wouldn't mind. I've seen some people do like where they turn off like zombie respawn and shit, and so when you kill the zombies, like you slowly whittle away at the population. I don't mind that either, because like from my like mindset is like, yeah, to a degree zombies will kind of keep migrating in, but I wouldn't mind if there was like this is like long shot shit here, right? But could you imagine if there was a finite amount of zombies on your map, right? And wherever you are, they like some of them sort of stay where they are because they're like trapped and stuff, and like some migrate and shit. Could you imagine if like Louisville or whatever, I'm aware that that place has a shit ton of zombies. Could you imagine if that place just slowly migrated out? So like if you're living close to it, like West Point isn't too close to Louisville, but there are like some stuff around here. And there's like a housing area here or whatever. If you're living here, it would be just this constant trickle of excessive quantity of zombies just slowly pouring out. Like, that would be an interesting mechanic. Fuck knows how they'd manage to do that, but interesting nonetheless, you know? Also sounds like it's getting windy, but we'll see. I might get rid of this little tree on the corner here because that could grow up and I could poop it. I'll get rid of the one over there. Let's go that one as well. But before they removed it, reworked motion sickness thingy killed me once by driving. Yeah, so I tried motion sickness as well when it came out, because it was one of the new ones. My girl had just died. I think that might have been, I don't think it was this save, but I think it was like one of my previous games. And I jumped I jumped in the car and I was like, cool, let's go for a ride. And I was driving around town and she was like starting to die and I couldn't figure it out. She was like, I think she was like sick, or she was queasy, she was hot, she was like at breaking point, and she was like dying and stuff. And I'm like, oh god, what happened? She didn't get scratched. Everybody was like, oh my god, you obviously like got bitten or scratched. It's a delayed reaction. I'm like, I haven't even had any contact with a zombie. Like, I'd been fighting zombies, but none of them had actually like landed a scratch, nothing. I hadn't had to do any medical on her. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense because she's clearly dying from something, but like, I just don't know what it is. I also don't know if I can cut these little fuckers down. But yeah, it turns out it was the fucking motion sickness. So when you're driving around, you start getting sick. If you drive faster or swerve and stuff, you get sicker. And eventually, yeah, you die from it. And I'm like, well, that's shit. The funniest part is I managed to get out and survive. And I promptly went back to the petrol station. And I'm like, you know what? You know, this is fine. Now I know what's going on. I'll go back to the petrol station and I'll try to get like a little bit of fuel. So I got overconfident. She was exhausted. She was sick. She was slow. All this sort of business was going on. And I hopped out and the zombie started slowly walking over to me. And I'm like, it's fine. I'll just walk around and I'll, you know, shake it off or whatever. And I'm like, I couldn't walk faster. And I couldn't walk fast enough to get around my car to get into my car to be able to be safe enough to drive And I'm like, okay, this is a problem. Then suddenly I had like 3 on me. I'm like, this is a problem. And I'm like, I was starting to like walk around. She's exhausted. She's panting. Like, she's just exhausted in general, right? And I'm like, this is bad. I can't get into my car to escape. I don't have anything nearby that I can like get into and shut. Like they were like right behind me kind of levels of like, you know, if I had to pause for a door, they would have got me kind of thing. And I'm like, I just couldn't get away. I made the mistake of letting them get too close to begin with. And yeah, that was interesting. I ended up with like 4 or 5 zombies following me around. And then I found a fence. And okay, so I know very, very little about this stuff, but I knew enough to know that if you jump over a fence, the zombies will fall over the fence and then you can kill them. It's like cool. Or like if you go around a corner and stuff, they might fall over the fence trying to take a shortcut too. I'm like, cool. I'll just hop over the fence. And I'm like, I think my objective was to walk around the corner of a fence, but I jumped the fence instead, and they bit me in the back of the neck as I jumped over it. I'm like, fuck, I'm so dead now. And yeah, I couldn't get away from that. And I'm like, ugh. After that, I was like, okay, there's like a small list of things that I just won't get. Like Puny's got me dead because I can't fight them off. Plus I also don't have much storage capacity. You know, death is one that I won't get again because I'll automatically die. I won't know that there's a threat. There is, what was it? Motion sickness. Won't get that because at the time I was in like the stage where I really wanted to go exploring and stuff and I had the cars and I'm like, I didn't just, you know, loot 7 different fucking cars just to not be able to take them for an adventure kind of thing. So yeah, I also I was like not getting motion sickness again. I'm sure there's a couple of other ones in there that I just like generally won't get. Like I won't get the smoker one either, just because like, you know, generally speaking in like real life, I'm not really a fan of like being around like smokers and stuff like that. Nothing against individual smokers and stuff, just I'm asthmatic and, you know, grew up with a smoker and stuff, so it's not really a trait that I want in my own character, especially since like I find cigarettes a lot in the game, but like I don't want to stop and then make her smoke. I also understand that anybody that's watching me and stuff like that can sometimes like have like the sudden urge to be like go and have one themselves, and it can like cause like extra smoking and shit. So yeah, I don't do that shit. So I've still got like a bit of wood along here that I'll pick up later, but for the moment I don't think it'll deteriorate. I think it'll be right. I'm very tired. Enjoyed the stream. See you later. No worries. I'll be back next Friday with with Project Zomboid with zombies. But yeah, no, I normally stream at this time on like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but I won't be streaming Tuesday and Wednesday next week, just as a heads up. It was nice meeting you, Abe. It was great talking and shit. So yeah, I'll catch you around. What is it? I like my crates. Yeah. I like that they have crates. I like that, like, because there's this like little spot just up the road from me, wherever the fuck I am. This little spot here had crates, and I found it really, really early on. There's also a spot, if that's the servo in town, petrol station, this place here has a shit ton of crates upstairs, and that's also really great. So I've looted a lot of crates from them, and that's given me a lot of like availability in my house to store stuff. I know you can make crates, but I think they're only like about half the capacity. Otherwise, my previous one of these houses had a shit ton of cabinets downstairs. So I was able to put like a fuck ton of like storage stuff just neatly downstairs. This place has got like a downstairs gym, and I'm not really that enthusiastic about it. Like, I might maybe fancy it up. We'll see. Let me go drop some more wood in here, and then I'll have to feed her. It's getting pretty dark, though. Can you drop all that? I don't know if there's enough space here, but we'll see how we go. Default apocalyptic settings with the new update. They turned off zombie respawns. Oh, really? I heard that they also brought in, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 other modes. I haven't actually looked. I should have probably looked when I started up the game. I just didn't think about it. I fell asleep. But I heard that they brought in a couple of different modes where like one of them has like, I think all zombies are runners or some shit like that. And I'm like, god damn. Like, I think Builder by default doesn't have runners on, which is great because it's already very shocking for me when, you know, I come across a zombie and I'm like, what the fuck do I do with this? You know? So, yeah. I'm glad that I don't have to, like, you know, worry, like, the gamble of, is it going to run at me if it sees or hears me? Because, my God, that's scary. Like, I already squeak really badly anyway when something does eventually spook me. The last thing I need is to have, like, you know, miscellaneous runner zombies just fucking tear up at my character. Like, I'd probably screech, honestly. More of a reaction to that. I'll just give her some food. There's still a couple of logs across the road. I might also just put the, what do you call it? The axe away for the moment. I know one of these has got a little bit of space. I know this wasn't where I was kind of keeping them. Fine. All right, hold on. Let me turn the light on. Can't see shit. I know where I'm going, but I know you guys can't see shit. So let's pop my light on. And I think we're good for the torch battery in this too. I might need more. Okay. If I'm going to leave the house, which I will probably in the next day, I might want a fresh battery. I think the battery would last me like a day or two out of house. So we should be okay. But I definitely want to get this off me. I want to get, like, I'll top up my water bottle in the morning. So this will be fine. And I'll probably have to grab like a can of food or something to chuck in the car. At the moment, I have got the fuel and the hose in the van. And I sort of don't want to take the van into town in case I hit something. Because it's at 4%. But the taxi isn't much either. But the taxi, I can always, like, tow home. I've got a couple of cars in town that have, like, been hot wired. I know that one of them's really slow and I don't want to take that. But I'll have a look. I'll go for a drive. I'll take my taxi. One of my 2 taxis. The other one's destroyed up in, like, Riverside. Let's say if I do car stuff, I might go to Riverside to do it, honestly. I'm pretty sure I already took, oh, actually, you know what I didn't take from Riverside? There was a cool looking van that had aliens on the side of it. And I don't know, that's what my second girl was. She did hot wiring. That's why I can't fucking remember her. She had a mechanic. She was so important and I just don't remember her. But anywho, yeah, no, I had a car up there. I didn't want to break a window because I didn't have any skills for it yet. And I don't think I hotwired it because obviously it was locked, so I couldn't get in and shit. But yeah, I should have got that one. It had a cool graphic on it. I like to bring in like different graphics and shit on the car. It makes me happy. I also want to find a car that's got some fucking capacity. So yeah, let's get your ass to sleep and then we'll sort out what we're going to do in the morning. We'll find out. It. And she's awake again. Why are you awake? You're alarmed. I didn't even think you slept long. Alright, let's go get you a book. Let's go find you something to read for a few minutes and then we'll see if we can get you to go back to sleep. I saw a book of some like magazine-y, this paperback thing. Give me this shit. You can go sit down and read that and then we'll see if we can get you back to sleep. I know she's got like, she's freaked out. She's always like at breaking point and shit. It's something that she is wearing. Because like I've cleaned her up entirely before so she's not covered in blood and she's still freaking out. So I don't know what it specifically is. But yeah. Smoker is a big no-no trait if you play on higher population settings. Oh really? I was not aware of that. You mind like elaborating on that? Because that's pretty interesting. I would think that if you were in like a large like multiplayer thing, I could see that being an issue where like you have to fight for resources and shit. But like if you're, well, I guess if it's a higher population, you're probably more stressed and it's hard to take a second to smoke, isn't it? That's probably what the explanation there is, I guess. It's also asthmatic and grew up around smokers. It's not cool. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's, I think it's one of those things where it's like you have to have that kind of like, you know, experience to kind of like be like, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want that in the game. Let me go put the book away. Actually, no, let's sleep first. I was going to put the book away. She's not tired. I don't want you up from 3 a.m. though. Like we could drive somewhere, but I don't really want to go for an adventure. But yeah, no, I got friends and family and shit that all smoke and stuff. It's just like I don't have a problem being around like certain individuals that are like very respectful, stand back, try to stay out of the wind, all that sort of stuff. But like, yeah, I just don't see it as something I need to be doing in a game actively kind of thing. I will hydrate. Hold on. Let's sit your ass down here because you're obviously not tired enough to sleep. And I'll have my water. Hold on. I'll plan out what we're going to do then, since she can't sleep. Maybe she'll sleep in like an hour and then she'll get like a couple of hours. Let's see. My throat is feeling so much better though from all this water. It was so fucking raw when I woke up. It was so painful. So she wakes up because your character has a chance to have a nightmare, terrors. It's kind of mean sometimes. I know that they can wake up because of nightmares, but my girl, if you watch her when she's inside, I don't know how well you can see this, especially if you're on a phone, you can't really see it that well, but she's permanently agitated. And when she lays down, this ramps all the way up. It gets worse and worse and worse. So what we've got on, I do know that the bulletproof vest makes them really uncomfortable. I found a chainmail glove, which I think is neat. And I assume that that's uncomfortable. She's got elbow pads. She's got firefighter jacket. Hard hats. I know that the hats sometimes are uncomfortable. I found these like ice hockey gloves. I thought those were neat too. She's got knee pads. And what else have you got? Everything else is mostly just good, comfortable stuff. The work boots might be a little uncomfortable. She's got the backpack, the satchel, and the bum bag and stuff. And yeah. I mean, it's got a tiny bit of blood on it. But I know it's mostly the bulletproof vest and the helmet and stuff. I know some people have told me, oh, you got to remove the stuff before you go to bed. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. I don't have time for that shit. So, yeah, I just don't have the patience to be like, remove everything and reapply everything every single day, especially since, like, you know, she might only sleep for like a couple of hours and I'll have to get up and do some stuff. Or, like, I have plans to go somewhere or whatever. I don't want to forget to put her shit back on her and have her dying of, like, overweight and stuff. Speaking of, we'll grab a couple of cans of food now. So I want to chuck, I guess, a can of spaghetti. I'll get her to eat maybe the pineapple come morning. And I want to kind of grab maybe, I don't want to have like too much food, maybe like a packet of chips or some shit, just to have with us. Normally 2 cans is kind of enough until I can find some stuff, but I'm honestly considering going for a bit of a drive. I also don't know which one of these I was eating, but I was eating out of one of these things. It's fine. I'll leave it for the moment. If she's gonna sleep, I'll probably have my chance to sleep in a second. And she's also got the dry ramen noodles. We can eat that. We'll pop that in her inventory. We'll have the dry ramen noodles for breakfast. And I'll take like a clusterfuck of eggs with us. That'll be plenty of food, hopefully. That's like 11. 11's not that much, but it should be enough to kind of snack on between the stuff. 14, there we go. All right, let's see if I can just quickly get her back to sleep. And yes. Okay, so she'll sleep till her alarm goes off at like 7 or whatever. They'll work for me. How you doing, Novella? Does she have claustrophobia, increases nightmares? She doesn't. So I've had that as well in one of my characters. Had like where they don't want to be inside and they don't like being like in like enclosed spaces. I'm like, never again. Never again. Because like I couldn't do anything inside and she was like always freaking out. I either had to like get it, I think it was like beta blockers or alcohol to like calm her down enough to sleep. And it was just, oh my God, you know. So when she's finished filling this up, I know she might still get more thirsty. So I'm tossing up a couple of things here. Because I don't have much in the way of mechanic skills. But I really only kind of have my taxi. So what I could do is I could put some empty fuel cans or whatever in my taxi. And we could, if I wanted to, we could go for a zip back up. It's pretty far away to do like some shit around here. And that could take some time to like look at some more stuff. Because there was a couple of cars in the area. The other thing I don't have for potentially hot wiring stuff is I don't think I've got, I don't have electrical. I also have stolen like most of the books in that area. So if I need to like amuse herself at night, I can't really do too much about that. Alternatively, I could drive down to Mulder because I do want to have a look at that place, and that would give me a chance to loot some books. I don't know where you zoom to this then. Like, there are cars in town, but I don't think there's any. I have like a saved car that might be hot wired, and then there's a couple, I think, pristine cars, but I don't think I can drive them. I might go have a quick look in here, and then we might go down and see if we can get to Mulder. If we're going to Mulder, I need a second drink bottle because she won't make it that far in the car. We'll have enough food, probably enough like light, all that kind of business. She's got her weapon and she's got armor and shit. It should be good for an adventure. Let's go. So yeah. I also am pretty sure I've got like a gas can of fuel. I would prefer to take this for like, you know, loot capacity, but I am ideally looking for in town locally a car that I could potentially tow my taxi home, right? And then I could probably like load up and go. Also, my taxi is in the ground. Like, I'm not even joking. Give me a screenshot of that. There we go. That is something. Please